order for Ghana are able to Ghana John Dramani Mahama Edinesi Akonjaso as president-elect of the Republic of Ghana. Chese or on no cars obey economy in channel. We in the finance minister Ugusu ne appointment. There's a vetting committee is you mun den there. Adaje create Afenyo Markins chese or the more good for good pa chese and yet small vetting committee on. Na chese me so begin na bre o akoma team sort of for. In 7 year course we see I don't know money Mahama ne NDC for. Omo no motina akonya so hand ye hwe Ghana for hwe ade a omo be omo se oman no ade nti John Dramani Mahama si obetumi esiesie economy ti si ade tumi na hyedensa nti Ghana for atapiku no mo hwe no se obe better economy ne ade ama omo se ne a o promise omo no to bia hwe nenim just under 1 month the nyama ikunkum na ade e koso ne da no wo hyedofo John Dramani Mahama no yi Ghana for nyina ye hwe no se oba be ye bibia kama no say Niama koso Ghana has a pound of for manko na yenko hwe ana yenko tie niama koso Ghana has na yembra
Ghana, the former leader of my party. So I sit there, watch you, insult him and go away. No politicians will do that. Now let's deal with Mr. Ablakwa.
Yes.
Ablakwa is one person I respect so much. We share the same esprit de corps. Is somebody. We entered parliament together. He knows what is between the two of us. Some of his designer suit, I will ask him, Ablakwa, show me the design, I'll go and buy. He wears nice shoes. He dresses well, a gentleman, dressing, whatever. We relate well. Before his veteran, ask Ablakwa whether we didn't sit as brothers. I said, Sammy, there were things that you went overboard. I think if you make concessions, we'll be fine. Is that okay? Meanwhile, I was aware that this is Aura guys have been flying drones in Winneba on my property. I kept quiet. I managed it. They've been flying. They go to my beachfront property. They mounted a drone. They flew it from the community center just by the Nshona. Okay? And my boys saw it. I told them, ignore. When government changes, people do all manner of things. They went to my White House, the one at the veterinary area. Flew, checking
Winneba as well.
Winneba. In Abelenpe, you'll be there and you'll be seeing drones. In the morning, the policemen have been seeing it. They tell me, I said, ignore. Sometimes early in the morning, we see that behind the rail line. But I know that it is spying my house. What is the business of drones in the minority leaders' house? Meanwhile, I've lived in my Abelenpe residence for over 20 years. My firstborn is 21. I lived there before having given birth to Ian. Is that okay? My residence in Winneba. I've had my properties all these years. I'm a businessman. I am a well-established person. All these properties.
Are you able to respond to people who have also started questioning that, at least by the calculations they are making, you must have been 21 before acquiring that particular property. What were you doing amongst them?
Don't worry. Let's get there.
Maybe briefly.
No, not briefly. It's an important thing. Don't say briefly. When we finished school, 1997, we had to stay home for 2 years. So I came to hustle in Accra. Through the hustling and schooling, I found my way at Ghana Post. So I was working as a post boy. Rose through the ranks to principal post officer. I was given a scholarship to go and study at Kivas. When I went to Kivas, 99, got in 2001 before I'd come into office. In July, when we vacated, I didn't go back to school because there was a career counseling and they introduced us into entrepreneurship. Okay. So I abandoned school. My colleagues know. I left Kivas at level 300. Okay? I didn't go back to school. I abandoned school to come and chase money. I bought my first Mercedes, my BMW. I still have those old cars packed.
Okay.
MFI, you must hear this. You brought it. Even if it is the last minute. No, you are not done.
But we've heard you.
No, you want to know. Please get the facts. And I started running my business. I had my wedding at age 23. My wife was 22. Is that okay? I started running Excel Courier, a multi-million-dollar investment. Stanchart gave me $5 million facility. Barclays Bank gave me $10 million facility.
Now you're sounding like you may be bragging.
I'm not, because you need to know the
yes,
fact.
I need to know.
I am saying that at a young
But how do you respond to criticism?
Do you want us to have a conversation?
At least I don't want to go through.
You said that some people said, how did I acquire? I wasn't in public service. Wait, you said some people are saying I was too young.
Of course,
and I'm saying that, questions. Sure, I will answer.
But you've answered.
Though I was not in public service, I started business early. I've worked for Guinness. I have my trucks. We're doing work for Diamond Cement from Tablibo to Togo to Aflawo to Bupe. My tankers haul from Ivory Coast all the way to Jos Plateau.
We can't go through all the things
my business in Awaso
how do you then
quite a number of people.
At least let's go back to the
I am not one of those people who would come in and say, I'm not a tenant. I am a landlord. I'm not somebody who will buy property and put it in somebody's name. I won't do it.
Okay.
I will never do it. It is my bona fide.
Yes.
And I am proud of my work as a businessman. It's the reason why I didn't go into government. The reason why I told my regional minister when we won power 2017 that said, because of my business, I won't go. It's the reason why even in 2021, Kennedy Japan fought me. That we are Kwaji Interior Minister, I will say won't pay. We are Kwaji Health Minister, I will say won't pay. Me say, because I'm running my private business.
Okay.
I want to run my business. I don't want to go into government. I would want to get into government when I'm in my late 50s or in my 60s. At that time,
and you're living that dream now. That's
I would have settled in.
Let's talk a bit more.
I just need you to understand.
Mr. Minority Leader, I've heard you.
No, let me conclude.
Okay.
I would hear you. Let me conclude. The gentleman brought a search report and created the impression that my lands in Winneba are state land. With the greatest respect,
we've checked on that.
You've checked, and what was your outcome?
What I'm saying, at least that land is not a state land. At least, I would give my producers that, so we put that.
I would end it.
But I would want to find out back to the vetting or appointments committee.
Let me conclude.
Okay.
I would hear you. Let me conclude. The gentleman brought a search report and created the impression that my lands in Winneba are state land. With the greatest respect,
we've checked on that.
You've checked, and what was your outcome?
What I'm saying, at least that land is not a state land. At least, I would give my producers that, so we put that.
I would end it.
But I would want to find out back to the vetting or appointments committee.
Odo for mu nyamo ko share video mu nyamo ti audio na when niama ekoso e wo Ghana hasi right after the John Dramani Mahama AC so as president elect any party NDC for chese omo na sisi ano omo abemu a omo govern country no omo na mo so betumia restore economy no nti ye hwe omo se o me bia kama na Ghana enya ne tuma pa efra odofo sisi ade me de mu nya bisia makram